Hi, and welcome to Kenny'sTechnologyTalk.com. Today we're going to talk about spyware and malware removal. A lot of people have asked me, my computer's slowing down. Can you come speed it up for me? Maybe we need to clean it off, clear up the hard drive. That's kind of a misconception. A lot of people think they've used up all their space. And sometimes that does happen, but for a majority of time, it's usually spyware or malware that's been installed. And by installed, I mean possibly you were on a website and you downloaded something, or perhaps a toolbar that came along with a program that you installed. A lot of times it's involuntary. You may have not clicked the custom settings when you go to install a program and it adds other things onto it, or there may be a button you click at the very end, check boxes, and that's usually how spyware and malware get on your computer. Today we're going to remove spyware and malware from a Windows 10 machine. First things first, you'll go down to the Start button or the Windows button over here on the bottom left. We'll right click on that, and I emphasize right click. There should be at least two buttons on your mouse, a left button and a right button, and you're going to right click, and that'll bring up a menu. If you inadvertently left click, you'll get the Start menu here. So just do a right click and go up to Control Panel. We'll left click on Control Panel to select it, and up here in the View By, you're probably on Category, and we need to change that to large or small icons, and then you'll get this this look, and we're looking for Programs and Features. I think you can get it on Category right here, Programs, and then you go to Programs and Features. And what will happen is all of your programs will be listed, and we want to sort them by installed date. So right here where it says Installed On, you'll click that one time and make sure the most recent is at the top, not the oldest, but the most recent. And then what you can do is start at the most recent one going back. And if you see things on here that you did not install yourself or that you don't wish to have on your computer, you can click on it and click Uninstall and follow the uninstallation process. Now, some of these programs that may be malware or spyware are kind of tricky on the uninstall, and you may have to answer certain questions, and just be real careful that you answer them correctly and that they come off. Take off as much as you can that looks like spyware or malware, or that you don't need on your computer, through this method first. The next thing we will do that will speed it up and clean off everything that you didn't get off from doing that way. I always start there first because that gets off a lot of the trash that's in there. But there will be a lot of hidden things. So where I recommend to go, and this clears off for probably 90% of the people that have spyware and malware, this usually works for me. So Malwarebytes is the program I like to use. It's malwarebytes.com. Come here and we'll go to free download. And you'll see it says you're almost there. There's free download and premium. If we scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's your free download. And it will start. You can save it wherever you like. Just remember where you put it so you can go back there and open it up. I'm using Google Chrome, so I'll hit save, and it puts it down at the bottom down here. When it finishes, you simply double click, and you may have to click yes on this message. If a message pops up saying that do you approve it? You'll have to say yes. And then you'll do English, okay. And next, accept, next, 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 next. If you want a desktop icon, you can leave that checked, and we'll click next. I'm going to, yeah, that's in there correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and click install now. And it will go through the install. And then the tricky part of Malwarebytes, I say tricky, they check this box that says enable free trial of Malware Premium. And you don't want to do that at this time. Unless you want to buy their premium version, go right ahead. I'm not affiliated with Malwarebytes, but I do recommend them. The premium version is very good, but it's not necessary most of the time, or in my experience it hasn't been. So, and then you want to launch Malwarebytes. Leave that box checked and click Finish. I'm going to minimize the browser. And then it pops up to the malware screen. It's already checking for updates, and you want to go ahead and hit Scan Now. Now, it's going to take us through all of these options, all these categories before it finishes. It will show us the objects scanned and the detected objects. If it detects any, then that's spyware, malware, potentially unwanted programs or pups. You may see that name as well. Those things will be removed at the end of this process. What will happen is a box will come up and will say remove selected. I'm going to pause the video now while it's scanning, and then I'll show you that remove selected button in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Short time for you, but it's been a minute and 45 seconds for me. It's checked for updates. It's done the pre-scan operations. It's scanned our memory of the computer, which is the memory that is being used, not the hard drive, but the memory that the programs are stored in while they're running. And it scanned that. It scanned the startup files that start up when you boot up the computer. It scanned the registry, which is kind of the brains of the operating system. And now it's scanning our file system, which I have a solid state drive, and so it's scanning fairly quickly. When it finishes scanning the file system, we'll go to the heuristic analysis. That's sort of a artificial type algorithm that actually searches inside programs, and it goes a step further than just the regular scan of files and looks for patterns and things like that, and it will remove malware. So far it hasn't detected any objects for me, but we'll see what happens here in another few moments. I'm going to pause the video now for just another moment. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, the threat scan is completed successfully. There were no threats identified, and you see this big Finish button. If it were to find some threats, they would all be selected, and you would have a button here that says Remove Selected. You simply click that. It may take 3 to 5 minutes for it to remove everything, and then you'll get a pop-up message that says you may need to reboot your computer. And go ahead and reboot your computer. At that point, it should be clean. I always run a second scan after it reboots just to make sure it cleared off everything successfully and that it comes back with a 0. That's all there is to cleaning off your computer usually. There are some other things that you can do to get rid of extensions and things in your browser if it's still acting up. You may need to change your home page back once this scan is complete if spyware has messed that up. But once the scan is finished and removed all of that, once you change your home page back, it will work correctly. So if you have any questions, do contact me, Kenny@KennyWilkinson.com, or you can call me 601-826-6476. Again, this has been Kenny's Technology Talk, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.